Hello and welcome to the Silver Screen Show. You guys are already laughing. You must be having loads of fun.
Sorry,
Yes.
man.
Glad for you to join us. Glad that you have joined us. We are doing an amazing show today. Today is the final show of the year. We're doing a roundup of the best and the worst that we have seen in the entire year. So we'll be going top 5 and top bottom bottom 5 of the year and see where it takes us.
Yes.
In terms of how we'll run this, guys, let's just do our top 5 all each other one by one, and then top 4, top third, etc.
Yeah.
So why don't we start with you, Abu?
Oh,
Your
My-
this has been an interesting year in terms of film. Plenty of good ones, plenty of bad
I
ones.
wouldn't say it's been the vintage year though. I don't think any.
When you say vintage, what do you mean?
Like just a great standard. I think last year probably was a bit more
Better in
science-
quality over quality.
Yeah, I think in general, like, but you know, it's been decent year. Obviously, having good films, but just as a general, I think.
I found it really hard to get a top 5 because there were so many films that were good, but not that many that were great.
None
I
great.
think anyway.
I think I would agree as well, especially the big budget ones. There
Yeah.
wasn't any that stood
Justice
out.
League, Star Wars.
Justice League. Star Wars.
Sorry. Okay. Right. So you're saying top 5.
Yeah,
So
let's go for your top
Right.
number 5.
Actually, it is really hard to actually narrow it down to 5. So at the end, I will say what films I did consider for various reasons. But 5th is Lucky Logan for me. I really enjoyed that. That
Logan
was
Lucky, you mean?
Logan Lucky. Oh, I put Lucky Logan. Logan Lucky, which was a heist movie starring Channing Tatum and Adam Driver,
And Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
James
Yeah,
Bond.
Daniel
yeah.
Craig, yeah.
as I've never really seen him before,
Yeah,
to
he
be
looks
honest.
so odd,
Yeah,
doesn't he?
like it's a role he really like. You usually see him in like downcast emo Bond movies, but he is like totally mental, and I loved it. And I always love a good heist movie; it's one of my favorite genres. So I love that. My 5th best.
Cool.
That's all I can really say, to be honest. About
Elenia?
I'm going to go with Only the Brave, the story of the firefighters in the sort of wildlands of California. And it was very emotional. It really, really hit me. And, you know, everyone in the cinema, everyone came out red and puffy. Everyone had been crying. It was fantastically made, very emotional. It was beautiful.
That's based on a real life story as well.
It's a true
right?
story, yeah.
Yeah, that just hits you even harder,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
every time.
My number 5, I've been thinking quite a bit about it. It's either It or War for the Planet of the Apes.
you gotta make
I
an
think
executive decision.
I'm going to nail it down to War for the Planet of the Apes. I think it's one of those rare trilogies that fulfills its original promise because it starts up really well. The second film builds on it, and the third is just even better.
To be honest, I've not watched the first year, and I still really enjoyed the third one. Like,
I-
I've
You
never,
should
the-
really
I've never had the
watch.
chance to watch
Yeah.
the first.
See,
It's
I'm,
one of those
I'm
things.
the opposite. I've seen the first 2. I hadn't seen War of the Planet of the Apes yet.
You
So
should
I
definitely
really
watch
want to see
it.
I was
it.
kind
you
of
should
thinking, will I
definitely
really enjoy it? But I mean, they put enough in there to show the people who haven't really watched it before. They feed it. They don't give it to you directly, but there's enough hints in there to know.
I like
Okay,
the-
so this guy was bad.
Yeah.
This happened. Okay, I get it.
The first one's got like James Franco and John Lithgow in it,
Yeah.
and they're really great.
Yeah,
That's
James
the sort
Franco,
of
yeah.
like human side of the beginning.
And obviously, we've got our main man, the Andy Serkis.
I love Andy
Yeah,
Serkis.
he's
Like,
the main
so-
character here, so he acts so well. I really wish they make an entire new like Oscar nomination category just
Just
for
for
him.
Andy Serkis.
But I think
That's
video
why they should do more
I think video capture will soon be
I hope it does
I
because
recognise.
so many films are like that now. With
and this
like
particular set of skills to. I mean, when you see behind the scenes of, especially behind the apes, like what he's doing
And-
in a silly green costume,
Exactly.
Yeah.
like it's
And
amazing
Lord of,
actually.
Lord of the Rings as well,
Exactly.
with the whole Gollum and Smeagol thing, was incredible. The fact that he was doing like one character then the other, and then he's like the hunched overness, and like there's a great behind the scenes image where he's like going down the river, and then you see the like CGI go over the top,
yeah.
and it is just amazing. what he's
There is
doing.
an Instagram account. I forgot what it's called, but it shows you like before and after special effects. It's really cool,
Yeah,
interesting
yeah, yeah.
to see.
I know which one you're
I
talking
mean, you
about.
think it's hard, and it must be hard for actors to actually take things seriously when you're acting behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a green-
Literally every film now has green screen.
Yeah.
Like all these big Marvel films, they're all like
Yeah.
fighting in like
Yeah.
spandex suits.
looking
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Looking
And
absolutely
you think
ridiculous.
Jungle Book might have been set in the jungle? No, it was all green
It
screen.
was, yeah. I
Whole
remember.
thing.
One thing about Jungle Book is a kid doing the green screen, which is even more impressive because
Yeah.
it's hard enough for an adult to get in the mindset of acting in a green screen.
Yeah.
For a kid to like pretend like a ball on a piece of stick is a rhino or something, it's like respect to the
Yeah,
kid. So he did well.
props.
Right.
Moving
So
All right, number 4.
number 4. It's back to me. We're going.
Yes,
like
back to
Yeah,
you.
back to me. I got John Wick Chapter 2. It came
That's
out.
your number 4.
Came out. Well, it's a good year for like good films. So it came out at the start of the year, but it's still one of my favorites. I've watched it like 3 or 4 different times. It's just, I was thinking, how could this one be different from the first one? Because they could have easily just repeated the premise from the first one, like the Hangover film did, and it kind of lost the magic. But this one, they kind of mixed it up in such a great way. And the action scenes are amazing. It's like one of the best.
One of the
like,
best in the year.
Every action scene is ridiculously well choreographed, beautifully shot, and it's intense. And so, like the sound from the beginning, like the initial car chase is intense and mental. You can really get you into the whole mindset of things. And yeah.
Speaking of car chases, I haven't really seen many car chase scenes.
Bar Baby
Baby
Driver.
Driver.
That's the name.
Baby Driver,
Yeah.
But how many films like that do you see anymore these days? Previously, you'd have
Sorry,
every
Fast
film.
8. We forgot about the submarine
Fast
fighting
and
cars.
Oh yeah, there was
But
that.
yeah,
There
I mean,
was there.
the first one was amazing. This one even better, I think. It's really hard to find a sequel that actually stands out from the first
I agree.
one.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
That's my
in fact, my number 4 is was going to be John Wick 2, but then I realized that there were some few other films which are pretty good as well. So my number 4 is actually Big Sick. The Big Sick.
Not The Big Short.
No, not The Big Short. The Big Sick. This is a very indie film done on a 3 million budget or even less than that.
Kumail
And it came out of
Nanjiani.
nowhere. Yeah, Kumail Nanjiani, I can never pronounce his name.
Hilarious guy.
Based on his real life story, coming
Yeah.
from where did he act
Pakistan.
before? No.
I thought he meant like himself.
Silicon Valley. He acted in that TV show. But yeah, he's a cool guy. He doesn't look his age. He's apparently 38 when you
Is
film
he?
that, and he plays a teenager.
So he must be in his
Yeah.
40s now then, right?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that film was amazing. I thought it had a very genuine and heartfelt plot.
So I
Partly
mean, this
because
is
it was
about
a-
where, because he falls in love with a American lady, right? So it's got the whole
No,
cross
it's
culture,
a-
isn't it?
I mean, they are in America, so
Yeah, but like he's a Pakistani heritage and he falls in love with a white lady. That's like the
Oh, yeah,
premise
yeah,
of the
white
movie,
lady,
isn't
you
it?
mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he looks into that kind of stigma as well and aspects of how it affect his family, and I think it's got that look in that side of it as well, right?
And on
So-
top of that, she falls ill, and now
Yeah.
how does the family dynamic work with
Exactly.
the parents and himself?
yeah,
But yeah, I thought the performances in that film were particularly amazing, and I think everyone should watch it.
Yes.
Elenia, your number 4?
My number 4 is Dunkirk. So it's the story of in World War
Dunkirk.
II. In World War II, it was like 1940, I think. It was the evacuation of all of the British and some French forces of Dunkirk. And I just think, for me, what really made that film was the 3 different paces: the week on the beach, the day on the boat, and then the hour in the air, and it all converged to one pivotal point at the end of the movie. And I just thought it was very, very well done, and the acting was fantastic, and I wasn't completely angry that Harry Styles.
I was gonna say Harry Styles even did a decent job.
Exactly, I wasn't angry about it. So
But I
there you
think
go.
that's just Christopher Nolan doing his stuff. I think.
Yeah, and everyone left very like somber and very like, right. That was an emotional time, and it was very well done.
But do you think the film went on for a bit too long? I heard some people say that.
Well, the
I think-
Nolan films, you kind of expect it.
Exactly.
They're epics. Like that's what he does.
It was
so-
an epic, and especially when it's something that is like a documentary film almost. Like it's not quite a documentary. It's
Yeah.
not quite Hollywood. It's somewhere in the middle. And you expect it to be quite long because there's a lot of things that are happening, and because there's so much that's happening and the way he's done it, it doesn't feel that long.
Okay. As in the pacing is really
Yeah,
good.
the pacing
You
is
don't
done
really feel
very
that.
well.
You don't
I
feel
did
that.
love the whole 3 different timelines. It could kind of took me a while to realize what's happening, but when you do, you're like, oh,
And Tom
That's what's
Hardy,
happening.
Tom Hardy can act more with his eyes than most people can in their entire careers.
he's
Which
got
is why he got Bane.
the
character.
Bane look and the mask on during the flights.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, moving
I
on.
agree. It's a good choice. We're coming down to our top 3 now.
Yeah.
So let's go with Abu first again.
Right, so I
Your
made a
number
promise.
3
Made a little
film
promise
of
myself
the
I'm
year.
gonna put one superhero movie in this list, otherwise it'd be chock full of them. But so I've gone with Thor Ragnarok. I think what made this one stand out in front of what my other suggestions was just hilarious, and it's like from start to finish was just jokes and banter, and just enjoyed watching it. And I think I could watch it again and again and just never really tire of it.
Yeah.
And I think the Hulk for bromance going on and all the other stuff happening is hilarious, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Be quick.
In fact, my number 3 is also Thor Ragnarok.
Also,
I thought it
we
was
don't hear from you
amazing.
then, Elenia.
Amazing film. Super funny.
Yeah.
Funny. Everyone should
Yeah.
watch it. I watched it several times.
See, it's not in my list purely because they've made Thor too silly.
Like a bumbling
Yeah,
clown.
I like
Thor
original
too
Thor.
silly. What do you mean?
Like, so you know he's supposed to be this like god. He's the one.
Oh,
who's
Thor
all-knowing.
too silly. I thought
Thor
Thor
is-
Not the film, like he meant
Thor
Thor
the Dark
is
World.
too
Yeah.
silly for me.
Okay,
Anyway,
right.
they changed it up a little bit too much.
Yeah, he's changed a lot from
But
the
is he
original
not more
Avengers.
interesting now?
No,
He definitely is.
Well, it's a personal list, man, like we
Yeah.
said. So it's
I like the original Thor and how he was like.
proud.
Another, and he was proud and he was a god, and now he's like tripping over himself. I'm like, who are you? Get off my screen. Anyway, my number 3 is Atomic Blonde, and I really like it because I love Charlize Theron. I think she's a great actress, and I think
All
she
a fan.
really put herself through her paces for this movie. And I know that people have criticised the storyline. They think it's a bit generic and stuff, but it is a sort of Cold War storyline, so it is generic. It's about finding a
Russia
microfilm
versus America.
and yeah, it's on the Great Wall. And I think that it wasn't about the storyline, it was about how it was portrayed. And I think the sort of remixes of the music of the time, the placement of those songs was really good, the fashion at the time, and the action sequences were just standout for me in that film. And so I really, really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
I'd say it's a decent choice because Charlize Theron shines wherever she does, and the action sequences in particular.
It was all her. I was even behind the scenes. It was her.
Yeah, she was training at one point with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I
as
mean, he
well.
pretty much is
Oh,
like a John
really?
Wick.
Yeah.
He did like John Wick.
It's like a female John Wick.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, number 2 then. I will.
Number 2, right. So this is tough to do. My top and second one is it was hit and miss, but I've gone with Get Out as number 2. Just in so many levels, this film was just amazing. Like, firstly, from Jordan Peele, who's a comedian, to come into something like this,
A horror genre.
a horror documentary, he calls it. I don't know why the Golden Globes call it a comedy. I'm not even gonna go into that. like, it's not a comedy, man. But he has jokes in it. But yeah, I mean, it talks about just the social climate currently in America, especially the racial tension, and not just that. It's just there's so many little things in the film that you just don't realize, and when you watch it again, these little things that he drops just makes the film even better. There's an article on BuzzFeed, if you want to see it, saying 25 things you might have missed. I was reading
right.
through it, then you watch the film again, and it's like, wow, there's so
Mind
much.
blown.
There's so many things Jordan Peele puts in that comes to fruition in it. But yeah, I don't want to go on too long about it, but definitely one of the best films. And I think it's probably made, financially, I think this was the best film, most successful film of the year. The budget was like something mine, like 5 million. It's made like 100 million, something stupid. So yeah, I'm too.
In fact, I might go for both number 2 and 1 here because my top film in the year.
Let's not go there yet. Number 2.
Not yet.
No,
Number
yet.
2, man. It's number 2.
Number 2.
Fine. My number 2 is Logan.
Okay.
Logan, the film that sends off our favorite superhero, X-Men's Wolverine.
My favorite actor, man. Hugh
And as
Jackman.
well the favorite actor, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets another role that's similar to what he's done with Wolverine.
And I'm happy for him to just to say, that's me done as that. Time to.
I hope he doesn't go away. That's what I meant to say. Because he,
Don't leave us.
yeah,
Jack.
don't leave us exactly. Anyway, I think everyone has seen Logan. The film is so visceral, so emotionally charged. This is like an emotional sledgehammer at the end. It's got that father-daughter relationship that
And it is
really
what
hits
Wolverine
you.
should be, like rated R, like
really-
just
It's
brutal.
what
It really
all
should
of them
be, yeah.
should have been.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
still-
basically.
I still think X-Men works on its own right without it.
do you mean like the
But
Wolverine
I think
movies?
the Wolverine films really should have been R-rated.
Yeah, that's something you mean, right? All the Wolverine films.
No, she means every X-Men
in general,
film.
like even X-Men.
She means
I will
films
get- I
in
will-
general should be R-rated anyway.
I just love my R rating.
Yeah. Where's the blood? We don't
I don't-
Where's all the blood and the gore and the violence and the swearing? I miss it.
Right, awesome.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so,
my number 2.
My number 2 is also Hugh Jackman. I'm sorry, I can't put an X-Men movie in just because I hate the continuity issues. Like
The timeline issues.
Logan is a fantastic film on its own, but it doesn't fit in with the rest of the franchise.
But it's like
is why I
10
don't
years in the
consider-
future. You
No,
shouldn't
but-
worry.
I'm just
Let's
I'm
not get
gonna
into it.
It doesn't fit in with the films like the other
Okay.
ones. It's fine. So I'm going to go number 2, Greatest Showman. So it came out last week. It came out on Boxing Day, and it was like
It's got a solid cast I've seen.
it's got Hugh Jackman, it's got Zac Efron, it's got Rebecca Ferguson, it's got Zendaya, and they are incredibly talented. The singing is amazing, the dancing and the acrobats and everything. So it's the story of P.T. Burnham, who created circus basically.
Yeah.
And it's got a pretty bad critic score. It's got a fantastic audience score. But I'm going on how it made me feel when I left. And when I left, I wanted to watch it again straight away.
Oh.
And the songs are just uplifting and just like really powerful.
That sounds like a Disney film to me then.
It's not though. I don't think it's just like, and some of it, because it starts off as a freak show, so the lyrics are like, I make no apologies, this is me, and it's so uplifting, and you just leave and you're like, yeah, this is me.
I get that.
Damn you all. So yeah, that's my number 2.
Okay, good to know. We'll probably do a bigger review of
next week, whenever.
this on our blog or in the next show next week.
Yeah.
But on to number 1 then, the best film of the year.
Yeah. Right. So I think we should make one thing clear. These are the films we personally like. It's not like a
Personal
critical
choice.
kind of thing. So it's like film we will definitely go and watch again. So using that, Logan is my top film. It just timeline wise, I just consider this film on its own. I don't consider this with all that thing because it just confuse you.
Yeah, you've just got to ignore.
Yeah,
the
you
rest
just
of
enjoy
the
this movie
X-Men
as a
movies.
standalone, and I think it's just, I mean, it was Daphne Keane who plays X-23.
Yeah.
She was great.
I mean, to put a role that intense in a kid is mental, man. Like, wow. Like,
I don't know where they get these kids from. I really wonder. I could have never done something
exactly.
like that.
And I mean, the storyline's great, and it's the just send away Jackman deserves, and
It's fine because now Disney owns it, so it's all going to be redone anyway.
Of course.
But yeah, that's my top film. I think you mentioned enough about Logan as it is, so let's move on.
Alright, my number 1, as your number 2 was, is Get Out.
Get Out. Yeah.
I thought the film was amazing. I thought this is one of those rare films which probably have been talked about a bit too much, and some people think it's overhyped now. But I still think it's worthwhile to watch this film. This film will be remembered for a while, and I hope Jordan Peele does more of this kind of stuff, because we've been watching him and his
Key and Peele.
Key and
Key
Peele,
and Peele,
yeah.
it's
Those
since I don't know when, and it's so refreshing to see him come.
And
to
I
the
think
big
he will
screen.
say, like, when I see him, like, he really seems to know what he wants to do, and hopefully his next project will be just as great. So
yeah, it's better to have him do the racial commentary than people like Kevin Hart doing it all the time, where he's got this just one-liner. Where he's like, oh yeah, am I still black? You know, Kevin Hart's.
I don't know. Kevin Hart's more of a stand-up.
Kevin
man,
Hart's
yeah.
just a
Whereas
different
this
kind of
guy
comedy.
understands the nuances in
Yeah.
like racial jokes, so
Yeah.
it just makes it so much better. But anyway,
I know you're going to horrifically disagree with me on this. But
your number 1.
My number 1, the one that made me so emotional and so happy, was Beauty and the Beast. I was in there and
Lydia.
I know, but right, it's like you know what? I spoke to my mum about this and I was like, what is my favorite Disney movie? And she said Beauty and the Beast. It is my favorite Disney movie.
Fair enough, man. When you see it come on the full screen.
And I was there, I sat there and the first song started playing, I started crying. I was so happy. Yeah. And it was just a really beautiful retelling, and it was a little bit more violent than the original one was. Obviously the Disney original. And I just think it was the best Disney reimagining that has come out so far.
Belle's not a gold digger though, is she?
She's not.
Let's not go into.
If she was a gold digger, then she would have just settled and married the captain Gaston. So
Yeah, but Beast at a castle.
Yeah, Beast at a Castle.
it's not like that.
I think
I
it's
feel we had a chat about this.
perpetual debate.
But
No,
yeah.
no.
Never
If
ends.
anything, it's Stockholm syndrome,
It's true. It is very
I
much
think it's-
Stockholm syndrome.
not
both.
a gold
I
digger.
think it's both. I
No,
think
because if she
I like how he's gone. But yeah,
no,
I mean,
let's not do that.
yeah.
But,
But no, it's what you enjoy.
well, that's
yeah.
your number 1.
Yeah.
yeah, that is
for
my
the year.
number 1 for the year. And seeing it with the London Philharmonic Orchestra playing the
Must have been
music
great.
live was incredible.
Where did you watch
Alright,
that?
where'd you watch
That was at the Royal Albert Hall. Me
Oh,
and my
wow.
friends went a couple of weeks ago, and
Sounds
it
great.
was absolutely stunning.
Could imagine.
Yeah.
Live score in it.
It was the same day I did the Lord of the Rings marathon.
Oh, that was an epic day.
It was a long
Wow.
day.
Maybe it's the Lord of the Rings rubbing off onto Beauty and the Beast.
No,
Why
no,
you
no,
like
no.
it so
Because
much.
also I watched Beauty and the Beast again like 2 days ago. and I still love
Oh,
it.
okay, fine. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Right, so let's go to the
Worst.
more fun part of the show
Need
now.
to
The worst
speed this
5.
up.
So we've done the